if I gotta be a little uncomfortable and make a couple videos and show people, what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve, our mission and doing all this. If it saves one stand of timber from being high graded and destroyed for, the next 2, 3, 4 generations, it's gonna be worth it in the end. Hey everybody, how you doing? My name's Nate with Living on the Edge Woodworks. Little rainy day here working on the skidder, getting it ready to move to another job, but I just figured I'd try out a video kind of in this style. Not really what I'm looking to do. Feel weird, nervous, anxious, whatever, filming myself. But the way I look at it is, if I continue making videos and maybe do some more, informative videos like this, if, it's a good trade-off, me being bothered or upset with making a video or stuff like that, if that allows, me and Seth to save one piece of timber from being high graded or destroyed, that's well worth the price of me being uncomfortable for a few minutes. So my buddy Seth and I started doing forestry work together in the winter of 2023-24. He was marking timber for, under contract for other mills, and I was just leaving a position as a log buyer, log yard manager for a mill that was closing. So we decided to strike off. We got a skidder that was local and, paid a good price for it, and it was almost what you call woods ready. And we jumped into it, got started cutting a job with a mill out eastern PA, and then we started searching for our own timber. And that's when, we knew we wanted to do this, and we always had the same goal, but searching for timber, in a lot of areas of the state, you're pretty disappointed when you see what some people have and what some people have had done on their property. I'm not, out here trying to, throw shade at guys that have been out here doing this for, their whole lives, or, it is what it is. But there's just been a ton of improper harvests done in this state, and it's really a shame, because Pennsylvania just has, some of the nicest hardwoods in the world, and it's a beautiful, God-given resource, and I just hate to see it get squandered for money at the end of the day, but that's usually what it comes down to. And you know what, just to say off the bat, it's America, it's your property, it's your timber, you can do with it what you please. There's always going to be money-hungry landowners or people that just don't know any better. They just don't understand. They get told, oh, we'll do a diameter limit cut. We'll take the big ones and let the small ones grow, and that sounds really nice. It does, but that's not how it works. Not in the least. Unless you're dealing with a single species stand, a diameter limit cut is doing nothing but taking out all your good, healthy seed-producing trees and your good genetics in those seed producers that you'd rather see, at least before they're harvested. Let them get a chance to copy themselves and get a good base going for the future. At the end of the day, a diameter limit cut, people say, oh, selective cut. At the end of the day, it's just a high grade. Unless you have someone actually coming in and explaining what kind of process they're going to do. Just harvesting the mature timber isn't a forestry plan. That's a logging plan. It's not a forestry plan. What we focus on is making sure that it is ready to have the mature trees taken off. Most of the time, they'll come in, do a 12, 14 and up, and all you're doing there is taking the nice, healthy, mature seed producing trees, and you're leaving behind the junk that didn't make it up to the canopy. You're leaving behind the species that don't get very big, birch. You're leaving behind the maple that gets all hollow, especially in this part of the state. Soft maple, there's probably a 25-75% chance that it's going to be hollow when you open it up. And all you're doing then is committing that wood lot to only produce the junk that's left behind. Once the acorn producers are gone, there is no more oaks. They last a year, maybe two in the ground, whereas other birch seeds will last potentially up to 7 years in the ground. And this is not even starting on, fern, stilt grass, witch hazel, stuff that's just drowning, soaking up all the sun before it gets to the forest floor to start those seeds in the ground. But it's the way it's been done for a while. And there used to be a time before we had all the invasive species and all these other competing species where you could take a whole hillside off and nothing will come back but you'll just get a whole hillside of oak come back. But anymore these days, there's just way too much going against them to get proper oak regeneration. It's pretty rare to find areas where there's decent white and red oak regen. It's 99% of the time it's just birch regen. Maple, which maple is fine. I don't have anything against maple. It's just, it doesn't grow well in this part of the state. But at the end of the day, a true forestry plan is going to be attacking all of these problems. And the biggest drawback is, I call them maintenance cuts. The first cut, if you have a property and you just got it or you inherited a piece, very rarely is it proper to just go in and take off the cream. Nothing's set up that way. We believe that the first cut on a piece of property should be a cleanup, rejuvenation. Typically, some of these jobs are doing, we're not touching a stick of oak, we're not touching a stick of hickory, we're taking the birch, the junk, and it's not very profitable. Most of the time, it even comes down to a service where if you can't pay for the service of removing the junk while taking some of the mature trees, then either the landowner's got to pay it out of pocket, or they got to do it themselves, or find someone that wants to just come in and cut firewood out, or they just go with the default, we'll do a 12 and up, and then this property's ruined for the next 2 generations. We're getting into this solely because we love hunting, we love fishing, we love just being outside. Everyone's like, oh, it's great to work outside. Yeah, about 12 days a year. It's real nice to work outside. Today, I'm digging post holes and working on the skidder, and it's raining. I just ducked in here to get out of this shower that's coming through. But we do this because we love it. We love being out here. We love, just taking all this in. Your biggest conservationists are always going to be your outdoor enthusiasts, your hunters, your fishers, your hikers, your campers. A lot of people, the Save the Tree group, their heart's in the right place, but they don't understand what they're really talking about. It's the woods. It's pretty complex. It's not just all the woods. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of different ecosystems inside ecosystems. It's not just something that can be blanket covered either way. I'm not out here trying to say, we don't cut mature trees. I'm the first one in line to grab my saw and go fell a big mature oak. Let me at them. But I need to know that after I take that oak, there's going to be a proper plan and proper regeneration to take its place. The last thing I want to do is strip all the valuable timber off and leave behind nothing for the junk. And if that's what you want to do, if you need the money, it is what it is. I'm not going to cut a piece that I can't drive by and not feel immense shame for what I've done. That there's different options for, you know, every piece, small piece, big piece. It doesn't really matter. You can have different plans for different sections of your property. The way we look at it is, you know, given one cut on your property, one logging operation, you can either destroy, heal, or maintain. We're out here trying to maintain and heal. It's not hard to see what the right thing is, but sometimes it's difficult to do the right thing. The right thing isn't the most profitable job, which, you know, turns a lot of people away. But we have to think about what we're doing here, you know, and I get it, everybody needs some money, but that's not everything. We come into, you know, various jobs. The job we're doing here, you know, we're called in for a second opinion, and the landowner had it marked already by another company, and we came in and we marked it a little different. The price was not, you know, really close, but you have to understand it's not that we're cutting that and taking the money, the extra money, and doing whatever. No, that money is staying in your woods. That value is still in your hands, in your timber. Guys would come in and cut in a job that we're leaving. At the end of the day, it's your property, your timber. You can do with it what you please. If you're looking for a better option for future growth and health in your forest, to get back to a more native and ecologically sound wood lot, you know, you ask for different opinions. You don't need to just call the flyer that gets mailed to your house from the big mills, and, you know, there's plenty of guys out here that are doing the work. Just to wrap this up, if I gotta be a little uncomfortable and make a couple videos and show people, you know, what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve, you know, our mission and doing all this, if it saves one stand of timber from being high graded and destroyed for, you know, the next 2, 3, 4 generations, it's gonna be worth it in the end. You know, the way we look at it and the way we do things is not what everybody is going to agree on, and I'm not saying it's the right thing either. What we do and how we do our work, it's our opinion, and, you know, other people have their opinions, and that's fine. But as long as we can offer a service to, you know, the smaller guys and people that are just really interested in doing the right thing and keeping their woods healthy for future generations, that's who we're seeking out to help. I'll let that go there, and if you have any questions or need any advice or have something, piece of timber that you'd like to have checked out, give me and Seth a call. I'll put it here at the end of the video. Have a good day.